بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. So Mufti Taqi Usmani Sahib Hafidhahullah is mentioning different stories regarding his teachers, his elders. He's got a whole series of stories. So one student of Mufti Taqi Sahib, through all of his work, he compiled all the stories he mentioned or he could find, and he put them in chronological order. So here this part 6, so stories of his father and some of his brothers and different people. So he mentions one story regarding his brother, Muhammad Zaki Kaifi, rahmatullah. He passed away quite young. So I'm not sure if it's this one or another brother, but one of his brothers, he was a poet, and he was so good in Urdu. Kiro e be nuqta sira. Now nuqtatun means a dot, but also nuqta is also in terms of a blemish. Yes, you got nuqtatun is a dot. If you got a dot on a white piece of paper, it's a blemish. So he wrote, and Urdu, be nukta means without a dot and also means without a blemish. So he wrote a sira with be nukta, without a dot, without blemish. So he never used the word ba, he never used the word ta, letter ba, ta, tha, jim, kha, dal. So he wrote the whole sira, but it doesn't have these words. So that there's not a single dot in the whole sira. So there's many writing sira. So his purpose was not mentioned there next to the sira as it is, but just to, so that's how good, either this brother or another brother was in his Urdu. So he mentions a story here that Mufti, his elder brother, Muhammad Zaki Kaifi, rahmatullah alayhi, he passed away now. So there were three of them walking, three generations. So the father, Maulana Muhammad Yasin, the grandfather, then Mufti Shafi Sahib, rahmatullah alayhi, and then his son was Zaki Kaifi. So they were walking somewhere, I'm not sure where they were walking. So when they reach, again, the customs and the culture you live in has a big part to play on you. We don't realize it. Just as I mentioned to the people, sometimes story as well. There's one cricketer in West Indies, proper. He's probably retired now. He's known for clubbing and women and drinking and partying. Yes. But when there was a clip of him, when he won the player of the tournament or the man of the match of the cricket finals or whatever, it was in Bangladesh. So he spent the whole cricket time in Bangladesh. So when he was man of the match, he was saying, "I'll be here again next year, inshallah." So in that company, people keep on saying, "Inshallah, inshallah, inshallah." He says, inshallah as well. I'll be here next year, inshallah. Yes. If you look, when it's a culture, because the culture you live in has a big part to play on you, the people you associate yourselves with. If you look at cricketers, what do you say? What's the captain's name? Joss. So the captain is Joss in cricket in England, because Joss Butler. But if you look at in Pakistan, they say, I don't know who now, but remember in all interviews, Inzi Bhai, he's elder. So automatically you have that daraja. Yes. If you have in English, I don't think as elder sister, I don't think there's a name, there's no respectful form of saying, you just call her by name. Fatima, Maryam, Zainab, there's no, but in Urdu, you say Apa, Jan. So there's respectful ways of saying things. So if you look at another culture, like this seems really weird to us, but that's how it is. So certain things, like for example, we have a respect, it's not only about gender, it's about respect throughout. So for example, a child will never call uncle by name. They will always say Chacha, or in Gujarati, you say Mutabaji. Your elder sister, you have to say Bhai, you say Apa, for your elder sister. Similarly, for example, when you speak in Urdu, you will never address your teacher as you. You will use the third person. It says Balagha as well, for ta'zim. What comes in with this Balagha? Yandur mawlaya fi amri. You don't say, undur fi amri. So you wouldn't even say the amr sigha. You would say, Yandur mawlaya fi amri, my respected, will consider having a look into my matter. You will say, undur fi amri. You say, yandur mawlaya fi amri. It's the way they speak. So there's so many things come to culture. So you won't address your teacher saying you. You would say, Ustaz Sahib, Muallima Sahiba. This is how you would address it. And this is not like, the whole concept of, this is not as freedom away from this. No, it's not. What happens is, like, if you go, even in I grew up in Barbados, in our schools, Christian values, you cannot disrespect the teacher. You will get a belt. And and our teacher wasn't very strict. She had very disciplined, a head teacher, Mrs. Carrington. So she was very disciplined, but she wasn't strict. Like, we would have fun and everything. But it's like, there's certain boundaries you can't cross. Now, when you don't have this, then it's like, schools are like, there are actually people in schools, their job is basically to report fights, stop fights. And our time, you would have respect for your school teacher. So this respect is very, very important. Without this, society goes out. Everything has a daraja, your teacher, your parents, your elder brother, elder sister, elder in society. And it's not only about Islam. It's even, like, you remember when Barbados, so I don't know, obviously 10 years, things are changing very fast. In Barbados, become very Americanized as well. But when it's in the library, here in the library, you just get the books, you slap the books up, and you put it on the thing. So she said, wait, you got no manners? Open the book. So you have to open the book, start them all one by one on the right page, and then put them in order. And then she stamps it, you have to move them. Meaning, you're a younger person. I'm not, like, it's not rude. It was like, you're a young person, you need to have discipline. It's like, discipline in society was so like common that the librarian would have confidence that if I tell your son off, you would agree with me that yes, your son is indisciplined, so I'm disciplining him. You wouldn't say, oh, how dare you talk to my son like that? Yes, there was one of my neighbors. He went to Barbados. So he was saying that he stopped at the side of the road in the car. He goes, can you give me directions to so-and-so? He goes, wait, you ain't got the manners. Say hello. So he got shocked. So he said, hello, can you give directions? He goes, ask, how are you? So he said, how are you? So I am fine, and how are you, sir? And then he replied, and then he goes, can I ask now? And he goes, yes, now ask, sir. And then basically this old lady is like teaching, and he's not even young, he's like 40, 50, 60. Meaning, this is not how you speak, where you come from. This is not. So even like, so this is very important, have discipline, manners, good things. It's not only about, it's like all of these things in all cultures before. So anyways, he's mentioning it here. So you have father, you have son, father and grandfather. So Mufti, so the Muhammad Zaki reached some place, so when they got out, they were taking off the shoes. So the little boy, again they trained, this is the customs. So the little boy took the father's shoes. He took Mufti Shafi Sahab's shoes. This is the father. So the grandfather said, Mere jute? Like for a joke, you taking your father's shoes, who take my shoes? So the little boy goes, he'll take it. Meaning the father, that's his job. I take my father's shoes, I give my father, I take my father's shoes. You're the grandfather, that's his job, take your shoes, not my job. Yes, and he's just talking here about a bit of a little latifa for a little boy that he's saying that, it's not my job, I take my father's shoes, that's how to ask him. He'll take his father's shoes. Yes? So even in this culture too, take your father's shoes up and look after it. Let me look for his shoes, look after it, put it away. This is like adab, respect. Yeah? So it's not all about, it's only about Islam is oppressing women, that women, it's like it's a system. So I was reading one day yesterday as well, that one person was saying that I got angry at my mom. He read to his sheikh saying that, I got angry at my mom and I shouted at her. So he wrote him back to him, this is very, very out of place. He goes, you go to your mom, get her shoes, put it on your head, and go and grab her feet, ask for forgiveness. This is by raising your voice. I shouted at my mom. So Islam is telling him that the sheikh is saying, so it's not about when male or female, your mom has so much right upon you. You shouted at your mom, what you need to do is you need to go. Again, if you do this in England, you won't understand what's going on. But again, that in that culture, take your mom's shoes and a sign of respect, a sign that, oh, I done a really bad thing. Put it on your head. And then go and grab your mom's feet and say, Mom, I'm sorry. Not to a little child, to an elder person. So all of these kind of things are, unfortunately, even us, we didn't grow up in these things. We got mixture of different societies. So we should inculcate that respect and that thing. And the way, again, this is a little joke he mentioned here, but the way we treat our parents is the same way. The way we treat our parents, our children will treat us. And if it comes to the hadith, that I come in the exact words, but whosoever does tawqeer and ta'zeem and respect of an elder person in his youth, when he gets old, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ensure that Allah destines somebody to do his ta'zeem. And there was one story I heard, again, the story, whether it's true or not, or no, it's chain or not, it's not ba'id. He was one person, he was really angry. He was really angry with his dad. So he was grabbing his dad and pulling his dad, old man, and that was quite nothing. So he was watching this tamasha, that what's going on here? And when he got his dad and pulling him, and he got to a certain place, and then the dad started shouting and screaming, that stop. So until now you're just quiet, you never said anything, and when you got here, now all of a sudden you started screaming. He goes, I did the same thing when I was younger, to my dad. And I grabbed and put my dad till here, not beyond this part. So when I was getting pulled and dragged by my son, I thought that was Allah's punishment for me in this dunya. But now when I went beyond that, I said, no, my son, you're going beyond your limits now. Stop. Now you don't have no right behind this. Yes? There was another, again, these are another story, one person. Again, we shouldn't, our parents, when they get elder, somebody's coughing, somebody's sick, they have diarrhea, we have to look after them. We shouldn't think that, there's a burden upon us. We think it's an honor to do khidmah for this person. We should put them like, send dad to our old people's home. We can't look after him. We should do this our honor and our duty to do khidmah for this person. So, again, unfortunate son, what did he say? His father was something, so they put the father outside in a shed. Yes? So the grandfather said, it's a bit cold. So, please get me a thing. So he's the father, son and grandfather. The grandfather's in the shed outside in one of those places. So the father said, you know what, just go and give this blanket to your grandfather. So the little boy went in the kitchen and he cut a bit of it off. And then he took the rest and gave it to the grandfather. So the grandfather said, how come you cut this? Because I've left the other half. When my father gets old and he needs it in the shed, I'll have a piece to give to him. Yes. So whether it's funny, whether it's ibrah, it's, whatever. And if not, the Prophet ﷺ in the hadith, that Allah will delay, Allah can whisper. But the punishment for qati'atul rahim, cutting ties and being bad to your parents, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings that punishment in this very, very world. Yes? So we should try to make sure, utmost, according to our ability, we do ta'zeem of our parents, our elders, our teachers, our seniors. Don't say anything. If you have an uncle, maybe you don't get along with them, different style, different methodology, just stay quiet, don't say anything disrespect. Don't ever, and most of us, if you hurt their feelings, the tawbah, istighfar. If they passed away, then do ihsan tawbah for them. Read Quran on their behalf, do umrah on their behalf, hajj on their behalf, sadaqah on their behalf. Even when they are alive, it's a duty and responsibility. Yes, so this is a story here from that Mufti Taqi mentioned. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us ability to take the lessons that we learned from this story. Subhanallah wa bihamdi. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.